In this video, I'm going to show how you can retrieve the generated key from a table for an insert operations. So here I'm going to use the Oracle DB in this example. So I have a table called test user. I have three fields in the table: user ID, first name, last name. Now I'm going to insert the records into this test user table by providing the first name, last name. Now and I want to fetch the user ID record from this corresponding table. So in this code, I have a model class called user. This contains first name, last name, and then I also have two methods. The first method is create user, and the second method is get user by ID. Let's go to the first method. So in this method, this is going to accept an instance of user class, and then this would actually contains the first name, last name, and this information would be inserted into the table, and then this method is going to return the corresponding user ID record from the table. So let me show how you can get the generated keys. So I am going to invoke this prepared statement, and I am just going to pass two arguments here. The first argument is actually the insert query. The second argument is actually the column names here. So here the unique ID is user ID here. So I'm just going to provide the name of the column in the second argument. So once I'm done with everything, then I'm just going to set the first name, last name records and going to execute this thing. So after this operations, the records would be inserted into the DB, and then next thing is I want to fetch the corresponding user ID record. So I'm just going to invoke this method get generated keys. This would actually get us the result set, and this result set actually contains only one value, that's the user ID. So I'm just going to get that value and assign that to this field, and I'm just going to return the user ID from this method. And in this method, the get user by ID method, I'm actually going to pass the user ID and then trying to run the select query and then passing the user ID and just trying to get the corresponding user records for this user ID here. So in the main method, I'm going to create the user instance of user class and setting the first name, last name, and I'm just going to invoke this method by passing the user model object instance of user class, and then this is going to get me the user ID inserted user ID here. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pass this user ID to this method to fetch the corresponding user records from the DB again, and I'm just going to print this information here. So let me just run this program and show you the output. Yes, so the user ID is 10. So that's what we inserted, and then we are going to pass this user ID to the other method to fetch the user details for this particular user ID, and then this is going to get the corresponding first name, last name information from the DB. And then as you can see here, the first name is John, last name is Woods, and this already matches with the input record. And this is a nice feature. So instead of having two calls to fetch the corresponding generated key, you can make only one call to do the insert operations and also fetch the corresponding generated key as well. Thank you.